you know that a young boy drowned the year before those two others were killed? The counselors weren't paying any attention. They were making love while that young boy drowned.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. So tonight we're going to talk about the documentary Game Changers. Now, if you're seeing this by now, you may have already seen my interview with WWE superstar Rusev, where we discuss it. Actually, Rusev is a good friend of mine. We work together on diet stuff. I've been working with him for the past for quite a while now, on working on getting him in as good a shape as he could possibly get in, and bringing his weight down to where it would be more beneficial for him in the ring overall. And, we go back and forth a lot about different diet things, diet techniques, products, all that stuff, like just regularly, just in a regular day, we go back and forth a lot. And he had actually been the one that was like, hey, have you seen this Game Changers thing? And I was like, no, I keep hearing about it, but I haven't had time to watch it. He's like, well, we should do we were going to do the interview on the Skype. And he's like, it'd be cool if we could talk about that, because he had watched like half of it. I was like, well, that forced me to actually take time out of my day and actually sit down. So I watched half of it, fell asleep. The next morning when I got up, I watched the other half of it, and then we recorded it. Now, everybody wants to know my opinion. What do you think about Game Changers? Here's the thing. Everything that they said in Game Changers, I personally have not gone out there and researched, right? Now, one thing that I will state up front is, this time in this, they talked about the different types of proteins and where they come from. Time out. These are the same fucking people, right, that are talking about this, that would say a protein is a protein, a calorie is a calorie, time the fuck out. Now, all of a sudden, it's not just that there's no animal fats. It's these proteins, these amino acids that are actually in animal protein are completely different than plant proteins. That turns the IFOM crowd on its fucking ear. That means that if that's true, and I have not researched this, because I've always asked these people that are arguing, no, because my argument was, okay, so between an animal-based diet and a plant-based diet, saturated fat. Animal fat is saturated fat. That's the difference. So what if you just did like a pescatarian diet where you're eating like eggs and fish, right? Or egg whites and fish, like white fish, to where you had almost zero fat in those foods altogether. Ate your fruits and vegetables and your complex carbohydrates and stuff. Use nuts and stuff to fill in the fats. Wouldn't that have the same effect as just cutting out meat, because you're reducing the saturated fat? Right? And then people argue, but they never say, yeah, no, it's different, but then they never had any explanation why it's so different. This documentary, however, shows that there's different types of proteins, and I'm like, but that's going to take the calories in, calories out crew and slap the shit out of them across the face, because they claim everything's the same. It doesn't matter where you get it from. So now here we have a vegan, or the Game Changers thing, which is very vegan, plant-based. We call it plant-based, not vegan, because vegan scares a lot of people off nowadays, but plant-based, information. And then we have the calories in, calories out crew. And then we have the meat eaters, the carnivores. And then we have the people that, there's so many groups of people arguing with each other. And my thing is like this. Let's look. I'll be honest with you. I watched the documentary, and the individual that did the battle ropes for an hour, that MMA guy, first of all, I would like to see that recorded for an hour and actually watch him do it for an hour. Of course, he said, I did 45 minutes and it was so easy, I kept going. You did 1 hour straight of battle ropes, where your muscles were moving up and down against that resistance like that, in your shoulders, in your shoulder joint, in your arms, right? Which not are from your hip and your glutes, which are actually meant to take long, serious strides over and over again and be able to produce, because a lot more red muscle fibers in your legs than there are in your upper body like that, and be able to produce that energy over time to where you can do cardio consistently. You're trying to tell me those battle ropes you went with the same intensity for a fucking hour, and it was like nothing, and you just stopped after an hour. I'm going to call bullshit on that. Anybody that's ever done the battle ropes knows that to do it for 15 minutes would put you in the fucking ground, right? Normally it's short bursts. I've never seen, no matter how whether it's vegan fucking meat eaters, whether they're fucking cardio bunnies, they're fucking bodybuilders. I've never seen any CrossFitters. I've never seen anybody grab the battle ropes and go for a fucking hour like it was no big deal. Like, it's so far-fetched, I feel like it's propaganda. They're saying shit like, you know, they showed the 2 vials of blood, and they separate the vials of blood, and they say, well, this is from a meat meal, and this is from a plant-based meal. The meat meal, you see how it's cloudy? Well, that's all the fat in your system. That's all the fat in there, right? And then over here, this is a plant-based, right? And I'm sitting there going, okay, but what if you took coconut oil, which is plant-based, right? Coconut oil that's on the market that you and I ingest, 85% saturated fat. What if you took coconut oil, ate that fucking meal with the coconut oil, and tested it? Would that saturated fat show up in your blood like an animal fat? They didn't say that, right? So I'm like, it's definitely manipulated and turned. And I'm like, there was things I was picking out left and right. Another thing was they had the discussion about the individuals getting erections. You have one plant-based meal, and all of a sudden you get more erections, bigger erections, longer erections, and I'm like, from one plant-based meal, right? From one fucking meal. That again goes to the IFOM crowds, calories in, calories out crowd, turns them fucking completely on their ear again. Because they claim if you have one bad meal, it's not going to destroy your body, it's not going to fuck you up. If you have one good meal, it's not going to change your body that much either. So one meal is not going to change that much. However, this plant-based thing shows one meal completely changes everything in your body, right? And I'm sitting there going, there's so many things. That thing about the erection thing, I was like, you're watching it, it's a doctor in a lab coat, and he's showing graphs and shit, and they're in a medical type setting. And at the end of it, if you listen, but you're not really paying attention, you have to really kind of piece it together. He says, this is not a scientific study, it's just very interesting. And I'm like, what the fuck? So it's not a study, which means there's so many other variables. We don't really know what the fuck those dudes did, took, whatever. Like, they could have taken fucking, you know, test boosters. They could have, who knows what the fuck was in those kids' bodies. They didn't have a blood test before to see if they were on steroids, if they weren't on steroids. Like, they're all young kids, which I got news for you. Young kids get fucking more erections than older motherfuckers. Like, there's so many variables that, and they said it's not a scientific study, which means those variables are wide open and they don't really fucking know, but it's interesting. But they put it in a documentary basically showing that you should never eat fucking meat because your blood gets clogged. You don't have fucking erections like you do with the other ones. You can have unlimited fucking energy. I've never met a vegan in my entire fucking life. Matter of fact, many of them have deficiencies because they're not combining foods the right way. They just look at no meat. Many of the, I've actually worked with vegans. I can remember one right off the bat right now because that was the most very specific example that I can give of a vegan. I used to work with a running coach and I used to do the diets for people that he was training. And he had this one guy, he was plant-based, and we were doing a plant-based diet, right? Total vegan diet. He kept getting injured over and over and over again. The same injury wouldn't heal. So finally his doctor was like, look, guy, you know, you've been doing this vegan thing. It's admirable that you've stuck to it this long and you're an athlete, but your body is not working right. Please add the meat back in. This motherfucker, right, Mr. Vegan and fucking awesome, ate 4 cheeseburgers in one day. Like, when he went off the fucking rails, he went off the rails. Like, he didn't just slowly, no, that motherfucker went 4 cheeseburgers. After adding the meat back in, his body healed. I saw it. No, it's not a scientific study, but we watched this guy not be able to heal. When he put it back in, he healed. That was the only difference. We were tracking it. We were paying attention. Me and the other coach both. So I'm looking at it going, my thing is this. If you want to be vegan because you love animals, you can't eat or harm animals. That is the most noble thing to me. That you would sacrifice whatever you normally know and change your life based on caring about another living thing. Super noble. I can appreciate it. I actually look at you and I commend you for it. I give you 2 thumbs up and I clap for it, right? Golf clap. But that golf clap is bullshit. But I commend you for doing it, right? But to say that there's 100% better health effects. Now, here's the problem that I have. I don't think it's true. I think that some people, you know, the documentary, oh, our teeth are fucking ground down there for... Listen, see that motherfucker up there? That thing? Down here? Look at that. See those eye teeth? They're like fucking vampire and werewolf. Now, the skull that they showed on the fucking TV, so, well, our teeth were like this. Where the fuck did these come from? Is one of my fucking great-grandparents or whatever a fucking wolf? Like, no, but I'm like, they're taking shit and, like, twisting it, fitting it to their narrative so they can say, well, plant-based is the way to go. I challenge anybody to go on a vegan diet for 4 weeks, okay? Grab the fucking battle ropes and fucking crank out the battle ropes for an hour without fucking stopping, with no water or nothing. Just fucking crank the battle ropes based on a vegan diet. I've never heard such bullshit, but this guy is claiming left there, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Like, and I'm starting to go, here's the deal. If it's true that the vegan diet, the plant-based diet is so good, is so good. Why? Is 99% of the people that I've ever known in my entire life, and I'm 43, I've been around a while, anyone who's ever been vegan, 99% of them have gone back to eating meat. Even most of the ones that don't go back to eating meat are the ones that are doing it for the love of animals, not for their health. Many of the people that even are doing it for the love of animals still go back to eating meat. It always starts out the same way. Something traumatic happens to them and they love animals. They don't want to see this happening to the animals anymore. I get that 100%. And next thing you know, they're over there talking about, wow, I'm going vegan. All of a sudden one day they're just vegan. They change their lifestyles completely to be vegan. And that's admirable, right? But then after a while, and it could take a year, it could take 2 years, it could take 3 or 4 years. Eventually, a little bit of fish comes back in there. Or before the fish, eggs, because technically it's not truly formed into a living thing yet. It's just like this shit in an egg. So technically it's not a living thing. So they start going with egg whites and egg yolks again, right? Sometimes just the egg whites, but egg whites and egg yolks. And then it moves to fish. Because they're scaly and goofy looking and not cute, they can justify eating a fucking fish. I'm like, your whole moral thing just fucking collapsed because you're eating living things again. Why? If this was so great and you were so healthy and it's the best thing for you and that's how we were meant to be, why the fuck are you eating meat again? Another thing is that I cannot wrap my head around, so many people want to eat these fake meats, these Beyond Meat, Impossible Burgers, fake chicken nuggets, all this shit. Why the fuck, if we were never meant to eat meat and you think it's gross, why would you be creating things that taste like meat that are fucking vegan? Why would you do that? Oh, the vegetables taste so good and so vibrant, and fruits. Eat that shit then, right? Eat your complex carbs. Why the fuck are you creating shit to taste like meat, look like meat, to satisfy your brain's urge for meat if you were never supposed to eat it? Because you miss it? Because it's the only way that you can do it. You can't give up meat because your brain goes, what the fuck? Your brain looks for the vitamins, the nutrients, the proteins. It looks for everything in it. And the only way you can justify it is, I have a craving for a burger, so I have an Impossible Burger. Well, there's a reason why you have a craving for that fucking burger. You're depleted in something. Even though you're doing the vegan diet, there's something you're missing. Now, smart vegans or smart plant-based would cover all the bases with all their vitamins, all the nutrients. They would cover the bases and be really strict with it because you have to do that. You can't just eat the fruits and vegetables and some complex carbs and just randomly throw shit together and all of a sudden you're nourished. I mean, it doesn't even work that way if you're eating meat too. You have to pay attention to these micros as well as the macros. And I'm like, what the fuck? And you get these people that are like, well, I'm a vegan and I'm the bodybuilder guy. Oh, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm a natural bodybuilder, and I'm a vegan. I've never had meat in my whole fucking life. I'm like, never once your whole life. So your parents were vegan and your mom didn't feed you milk? Did you not have milk when you were a kid? How the fuck did you live? She didn't breastfeed you? Because that's human, right? That's animal proteins. Or if they gave you fucking formula instead of breastfeeding, guess what? That's fucking also animal made, right? So it's bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck? Now, my take on the whole thing, honestly, it's this. And I told Rusev this in the video. I said, I honestly feel like in 2019, we're heading into 2020 soon, there's so many ethnic backgrounds, there's so many things blended together. Like, not all of us are just one type of individual from wherever, from Africa, from Ireland, from fucking Sweden, whatever, right? Many things are blended together. That I do feel like now, as those genes blend together and they're handed down, you may have some people that respond really well to a vegan diet and can live that way. You may have some people that respond really well to the carnivore diet, like Chris Bell. His body responds to it. His inflammation markers went down. People on that video, Game Changers, the inflammation went down. I've seen people do a keto diet, all animal products, and the inflammation goes down. I've seen cholesterol go down. So my thing is like, wait a minute, if you have both things happening, and it's not just one case, it's multiple cases, that means some people's bodies are set up to utilize meat better. Maybe me because of the teeth. Maybe not. Who knows? And some people's bodies, I think, responds to plant better. Now, why? I don't know. It's a genetic thing. Why? Everything is fucking out there being studied. We don't really know why, but we do know that there's people that respond to vegan and people respond to meat, and when they fucking cross over, they don't feel good. They don't feel well. It's worse for them. So I'm like, instead of everybody trying to push each other into one fucking point of view, right? Instead of people that are plant-based pushing people into plant-based, you have to do this, you have to do this. Stop fucking preaching. Okay? That's all there is to it. Those same people that are vegan or plant-based telling everybody what they gotta do, they don't like the Bible beaters knocking on their fucking door trying to tell them to join this religion, that religion, or whatever the fuck it is. They don't like that shit. They don't like the people knocking on their door telling them you have to buy this type of vacuum. I got this one. No, this one's better. You gotta take this one. Like, those people don't like shit forced on them. Why the fuck are they running around forcing shit on other people? Like, they're not even getting the fact that they're an individual, I'm an individual, and what works for them may not work for me. There are plenty of people that have tried the vegan diet, like my friends and people that I know that have gone back to eating meat. They have to. There are other people that don't, that they are completely nourished and feel better. There's some people that go from, just eating plants and nuts and fruits and shit like that, since birth, like that bodybuilder, that wind up on meat later on. There are people that switch diets back and forth because they're not really sure. I honestly think that most of us need to get a blend of both. We need a blend of animal products, plant products, nuts, stuff like that. We need a kind of overall moderate amount of all of those things. I do think that as bodybuilders, we really push the meat as far as we push the protein, as far as like other people, because athletes need more protein. And you don't get the person like, well, I only eat 30 grams of protein a day. Look, I'm 250 pounds. Look, Herschel Walker was a fucking vegan. He ate one meal a day. It was like 30 grams of protein. He bench pressed 500 pounds. He was a fucking football player in the fucking Hall of Fame. And he's an MMA fighter that won his fucking first fight at like 55 years old. That is not a good example. You're pointing at him. The people pointing at him are not even like him. They can't do the shit he did. So it's like, okay, if Herschel Walker's doing it, it works for him. Why the fuck aren't you an athlete? Why the fuck can't you play in the NFL? Why the fuck can't you do an MMA fight? You're 25. What the fuck? You're not even close to this guy as an athlete because his genetics allow him to do things with food that this other person doesn't. But they point at the examples. Those examples are not the general population. They're an outlier. They're completely different. They're individuals that are fucking freaks, that their bodies don't work the way that we know. Kevin Levrone is a fucking freak of nature. My friend Rick Rofeld and I don't know if he still has the footage. I wish he did. We watched that motherfucker gain weight on the scale in the gym. We went in the gym with Kevin. We were documenting shit for our website and our YouTube, which was m3muscle.com. Kevin got on the scale. It was, let's say for shits and giggles, it was 205. I don't remember the exact weight, right? He got off the scale. We did a workout. Kevin had a bottle of water. It was those little bottles of water. He drank about that much. He doesn't like to drink a lot. He doesn't like to eat a lot. It's just how he is, right? He drank about that much water, right? Now, you would think, okay, that much water, how much did he sweat out? You know what I mean? Okay, and he's moving around, the body processes things, that water's coming out, okay, he gets on the scale, he was almost 3 pounds heavier. Where the fuck did that 3 pounds come from? Blood volume? The blood was already in his body. No matter how pumped he is, you don't gain weight from the blood already in your body. So just like if you put an ice cube in a fucking glass, when it melts, the volume doesn't go up in the glass, it's already in the fucking glass. His blood was already in his body. I've never seen anything like that. I can't fucking ever tell you how it worked. Kevin doesn't know how it fucking worked. Me and Rick looked at each other like, but what the fuck is this? It defied science what we saw. But that was his body. And that's when I realized my body's not like his. I can't do what he does. Like, that's what you guys are not getting. You just haven't seen the things that make no fucking sense. There's no explanation for it. And even scientists go, I don't know. There are scientists out there that will fucking swear up and down about fucking veganism. There are other scientists swearing up and down about fucking carnivores. I mean, or about meat eaters, or eating meat. Meat eating diet, carnivore diet, Jesus Christ. But both of them will fucking say, we saw all this data that says one this way or this way. There is no one single fucking way. So what it comes down to is preference. Try it. If you get out of a plant-based diet and your health markers are better, you feel better, and you could do battle ropes for an hour, by all means, stay on that plant diet the rest of your fucking life. I think it's awesome. If you get on a plant diet and your performance goes down, and you're hitting your macros, you're doing everything you can, and your body's not the same, and your fucking performance goes down, and your macros are fucking, they're not fucked up, and your body's changing, and you're like, what the fuck? You're like, this is not good, and you don't feel well, and then you go to the doctor, and your blood markers are changing for the worse. Get off the fucking diet. If you get on a carnivore diet or a carnivore-based diet, and your inflammation goes down, your cholesterol goes down, you feel good, you have energy like Chris Bell, fucking do it. Don't listen to what these fucking vegans say. That doesn't make any fucking sense. If you are doing something that works for you, don't listen to what anybody says, not even me. Use fucking logic. Logic has been out the fucking window. And we're looking to everybody in the world for answers about everything lately, right? This doctor, this website, that blog, this vlog, or YouTube. We're looking for everything. Why the fuck aren't you looking at yourself? Why aren't you paying attention to what the fuck is happening in your body, which gives you all the answers about what the fuck is going on? If you listen to your body and what the fuck is going on and looked at your blood work, you would know what to do and you wouldn't be asking me about Game Changers and what I think about it. What I think about Game Changers, I think it is a very heavily plant-based, pro-plant-based documentary. I don't know what the, the narrative is, like who's trying to push it. I'm going to assume they're plant-based individuals. I don't think it's a fucking doctor out there and a scientist out there that are meat eaters that said, oh my God, we found this other fucking way, but we still eat meat, but we think that the fucking population should be doing this. I do believe that it is very propaganda-based, and I would love to see them prove the things that they claim. I would love to see them prove that meat increases cholesterol in everyone. In everyone. Not just like, we had this one guy who was fucking fat, and he smoked cigarettes, and he fucking ate butter, and you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? He's 400 pounds overweight. His markers were up when he was on fucking that. We have this other guy who cycles fucking 30 miles a day, doesn't smoke, only eats fucking plants, sleeps 12 hours a fucking night, meditates 4 times a day because he didn't have a fucking job. His health markers went down because he started a plant-based diet. It's like, motherfucker, his whole lifestyle is what made his body change. Just like the other guy. I think it's really the lifestyle and not necessarily you stopped eating meat and threw in plants. But guy, it's this thing that we're arguing back and forth. But if you notice, there's definitely a boom in these vegan meats, vegan products, plant-based everything, right? Matter of fact, the milk industry lost over $1 billion. It was 1.9. It was almost $2 billion. $1 billion this year they lost because of plant-based milks like almond milk and shit. Rice milk, almond milk. They have lost because that new, I shouldn't say new, but it's new for many people. That new industry is starting to boom because of all the stuff about vegan stuff is healthier. Now, just because you drink fucking almond milk doesn't mean you're going to be fucking healthier. Just because you drink regular milk from a cow doesn't mean you're going to be fucking sick. But I'm like, it's just a big push propaganda. It all boils down to the same thing. Money, industries, products. That's what it's boiling down to. Game Changers is about, they're talking about this burrito. They had this fucking lady who was like a chef. She was a professional chef that was married to a football player. The food that she was making, I've had food like that. My ex-girlfriend's mother was a vegetarian. She made a vegetarian turkey for Thanksgiving. It was amazing. There's no fucking way I'm making vegetarian turkey every day fucking for the rest of my life. Like, to have time, most people don't even have time. That's why they run to McDonald's. They don't even have time to make fucking food that would taste good. You'd have to fucking eat celery and a banana to get by on this vegan diet. But they, oh no, you could spice it up. How? Tell me how. All right, because you're fucking cooking all these meals when most people can't cook. They don't have time to cook. They got families, they got kids, they got fucking jobs that they have to fucking work. They got travel, they do all kinds of shit. Cooking that meals to make it taste good, you're stuck with the shit that you can buy fresh and eat that stuff. And I'm sorry, most people can't stick to shit because of the way it tastes and they get bored to begin with. If you're eating celery and lettuce every day with fucking fruit, eventually you get fucking bored of that. There's only so many combinations there are, and you get tired of that, and they go back to eating fucking meat. But this chick's a fucking chef. No shit. I guarantee you, if every one of us had a chef like her in our fucking house cooking our meals every day, we could go vegan for the rest of our lives and not even know it. But that's not the fucking reality. So I'm like, what the fuck? Those football players say, well, you know, I come here to eat because it's really good and shit. Those motherfuckers ain't eating vegan shit outside of that fucking house. They're coming to the house because they were invited for dinner and fucking tastes good. It's a free fucking meal. That's why they're there fucking eating it. Take away that shit and put some celery on a fucking plate with some lettuce, a little bit of fucking cucumbers, and throw a couple bananas, some raspberries, and fucking blueberries and feed that to them. They wouldn't even come back the next week. They'd be like, fuck that. It's gross. I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's cool, but fuck it. It's nothing special. So beware, guys. Like, I think the documentary raised a lot of interesting points. Some of them that I knew, some of them I didn't know. Some stuff that I think is real, some things I think is not real. But the bottom line is, do whatever the fuck works for you. If you're sitting there going, Jerry, I don't know what to do, try the fucking vegan diet. Try the plant-based. Go plant-based. Don't fuck around and do half plant-based, half meat. No, go fucking plant-based. Go balls in. I mean, I can't get any one of these motherfuckers out there in YouTube land to nut up and do something fucking like that, period. I've had IFYM motherfuckers that said, you know what? You want to prove to me it's all about calories? Eat only fucking oatmeal for the next 12 weeks. Don't eat anything else because it's all about the fucking calories, right? Hit your fucking macros with only oatmeal, just complex carbs, just oatmeal, rice, sweet potatoes. Do that. Hit your macros with that, right? Or hit your calories. Fuck the macros. It's all about calories in, calories out. Hit your calories with that. Sweet potatoes, rice, and fucking oatmeal. Just do that for 12 weeks. Come back to me and tell me your muscle mass is the same, you're just as fucking lean, and nothing has changed, and it's all about the calories. Bullshit. Not one person will take me up on that fucking offer because we all know what's going to happen. They're going to lose muscle, gain fat, and look like shit and feel like shit. That's what's going to happen because it's not just about calories. It's about what you put in your fucking body. So bottom line is, guys, if you want to do something, try it. Stop being a fucking pussy and footing around all over the place. And, I don't know. No. Nut up, do something, and fucking take part in something. Be the solution rather than the problem. The problem is everybody's asking everybody and fucking putting out shit that confuses everybody. Be the solution. Say, hey, this is what I fucking did. I did the fucking diet. Here's my blood work. I was fucking better off like this. So I'm going to continue like this. Hey, I did the fucking plant-based thing. I had my blood work done. This is what happened. I'm not better off. I went back to eating meat. My things went back to normal, and I'm healthier like this. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. That's the big problem. BioStrength@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight BioStrength.com's a blog. It's to be the solution and not the problem. Bicep, and we are out.